In the primordial darkness that once cloaked the world, the skies of the Norse lands were filled with tales of the gods. From the clash of immense ice and fire, the cosmos was born, along with the 9 realms. Among them stood Asgard, the fortress of the gods, ruled by none other than Odin, the king of the gods. He was praised for his unmatched wisdom and valor, yet a constant thirst remained within him, an unending desire for all the secrets and knowledge of the world. Even as he sat on the high throne of Asgard, Odin was plagued by unease about his fate and the future of the gods. Odin's face, lost in deep contemplation, was as firm as stone, and his eyes seemed to gaze into the distance. Upon his shoulders perched Hugin and Munin, his 2 ravens. They flew across the world each day, bringing him news of all they saw and heard, but still, it was not enough. "I need more wisdom," Odin murmured as he rose from his throne. His voice was quiet, yet his resolve was mightier than thunder. He took up his spear, Gungnir, and mounted Sleipnir, his 8-legged steed. Behind him, the golden palace of Asgard shimmered in the light. Only the sound of Sleipnir's hooves slicing through the air broke the silence. Odin rode toward Yggdrasil, the world tree, a massive pillar connecting the 9 realms and the source of all existence. Harsh winds blew through his gray beard, and his cloak fluttered like a shadow across the night sky. Gradually, the form of Yggdrasil revealed itself. It stretched to the very end of the sky and embraced the world with its vastness. Before the great trunk of the tree, Odin brought Sleipnir to a halt. Etched into the bark were the marks of millennia, and from its roots flowed the wisdom of the ancients. Odin descended along the roots of Yggdrasil. The journey was arduous. The roots of the world tree branched in 3 directions, each leading to a different realm. What Odin sought lay in the deepest and most secret of those paths. Darkness thickened, and the air grew cold. But Odin's steps did not falter. His eyes gleamed even in the shadows, and his heart burned with steadfast determination. At last, he reached the deepest root of the world tree, and there, he discovered the Well of Urd. The Well of Urd shimmered silently. Its water was clear and deep, holding within it the truths of past, present, and future. The surface was smooth as a mirror, and countless images danced within. This was the dwelling place of the Norns, goddesses of fate. The 3 goddesses, Urd, Verdandi, and Skuld, wove the destinies of all beings, governing past, present, and future. They noticed Odin's arrival and observed him quietly. In their eyes was the knowledge of all time, and in their hands were the threads of fate. "You have come here in search of wisdom, Odin," Urd's voice rippled softly like water. "But such wisdom is not easily obtained. The one who guards the well of knowledge is Mimir." Odin nodded. He already knew. Mimir was the keeper of ancient wisdom, his head severed during the war with Jotunheim, yet preserved and kept alive through Odin's magic. He now stood as the eternal guardian near the well. From the depths of the well, a voice echoed. "Odin, king of the gods, speak what it is you seek." It was Mimir's voice, solid and heavy like ancient stone. Mimir's head rose to the surface. His face looked weathered by time, but his eyes shone like stars. "I have come for wisdom, Mimir," Odin replied firmly. "I wish to know all the secrets of the world and the fate of the gods." As his words faded, the air around him grew heavier. Mimir's eyes seemed to peer into the depths of Odin's soul. "If you seek wisdom, a price must be paid," Mimir's voice deepened. "The water of this well is not for mere drinking. What are you willing to offer?" His tone was testing, and Odin knew it was no idle question. In the silence that followed, a storm raged within Odin's heart. He remembered all he had already sacrificed. He had hung upside down from Yggdrasil for 9 nights to gain the runes, and bargained with the giant Suttungr for the mead of poetry and wisdom. But Odin also knew that true wisdom demanded even greater sacrifice. His resolve hardened. "I will offer the most precious thing I possess," Odin said. His eye gleamed with resolve. "I will give you one of my eyes, Mimir." A flicker of surprise crossed Mimir's face. He had seen many seekers, but none who offered their own eye. "If your decision is firm, Odin, then do it," Mimir said, now with a hint of respect in his voice. Without hesitation, Odin reached for his right eye. As his fingers touched it, the air around him seemed to tremble. He removed it without pain, decisively. A bright light flashed, and in his hand now rested his eye, glowing like a star of the cosmos. Odin placed his eye into the well. Instantly, the water turned red, then clear again. His eye slowly sank, and as it disappeared completely, the surface stilled once more. The right side of his face was now hollow, a deep wound left behind. Mimir dipped a golden cup into the well and drew water from it. The liquid shone like moonlight. "Now drink, Odin. The wisdom you sought awaits you." Mimir handed him the cup. Odin took it and gazed into the water. Inside the water flowed countless visions, wars of the past, the peace of the present, and the uncertainty of the future. Odin took a deep breath and drained the cup in one motion. In that moment, his remaining eye glowed like a blazing star. As the water of wisdom coursed through his body, Odin's consciousness exploded outward. Suddenly, he saw everything, the branches and leaves of Yggdrasil, every corner of the 9 realms, and every event along the river of time. Past, present, and future unfolded before him in an instant. He saw the world before his birth, the clash of fire and ice, the birth and death of Ymir the first giant, and the creation of the world from his corpse. He witnessed the building of Asgard and the golden age of the gods. And then he saw what was yet to come. As his awareness traveled farther along the currents of time, Odin saw it at last, Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods, the final battle. He saw his son Thor battle the Midgard serpent, Jormungandr, and Loki freed from chains to rise against the gods. He saw 3 long winters without end, brothers killing brothers, kin fighting kin. He saw the sun blacken and stars fall from the sky. And finally, he saw himself devoured by the great wolf, Fenrir. Odin's body trembled. Tears streamed from his remaining eye, though he did not know whether they fell from sorrow or the sheer weight of wisdom. Now he understood that just as everything has a beginning, so too must everything end. Not even gods nor worlds are exceptions. But Odin also saw a world after Ragnarok. From ashes and flame, new life emerged. A new sun rose, and new gods came forth. Rebirth after destruction, resurrection after death. All things end, but all things begin anew. When the vision ended, Odin stood once again before the Well of Urd. His body was weary, but his mind clearer than ever before. He now knew his fate, the fate of the gods, and the fate of the world. It could not be avoided, but it could be prepared for. "You have gained wisdom, Odin," Mimir said. "But with it, you now carry a heavy burden. What will you do?" Mimir's eyes searched deep into Odin's soul. He knew what Odin had seen, and the pain that knowledge would bring. Odin remained silent for a moment. Though one of his eyes was gone, the one that remained shone with a deeper insight. "I will carry what I have seen and prepare for it," Odin finally said. "Fate may be unchangeable, but we can still be ready to meet it." Mimir nodded in satisfaction. "A wise choice, Odin. All knowledge comes with responsibility. And I believe you will carry that responsibility well." Mimir's form began to fade, returning to the depths of the well. Before leaving the Well of Urd, Odin looked one last time into the water. His sacrificed eye was now part of it, forever guarding the source of wisdom. Covering his empty socket with his hand, he began the ascent along the roots of the world tree. Light filtered through the mighty branches of Yggdrasil. Odin approached Sleipnir, who seemed to sense the change in his master and let out a quiet neigh. Odin stroked the horse's mane and whispered, "We must return, my friend. Much awaits us." He mounted Sleipnir, and together they galloped toward Asgard. As they traveled, countless thoughts swirled in Odin's mind. He pondered whether he should share what he had seen, the doom of the gods. But he also knew that sometimes, it is wiser to carry knowledge than to reveal it. On the horizon, the golden palace of Asgard appeared. Bifrost, the rainbow bridge, shimmered, and Valhalla's high roof reflected the sun. Odin looked upon his kingdom with new eyes. It was still beautiful, but he now knew that beauty was not eternal. At the gates of Valhalla, Odin was greeted by his wife, Frigg. She was shocked by the change in him but asked no questions. She sensed that he had sacrificed greatly to gain wisdom and waited until he was ready to speak. Odin once again sat upon his throne, Hlithskjalf. Hugin and Munin rested on his shoulders, and his wolves, Jerry and Freki, lay at his feet. He was no longer the same king. Wiser, deeper, but now burdened with heavy secrets. From that day on, Odin sought knowledge even more fervently. He delved deeper into the runes, learned all the languages of the world, communed with the spirits of the dead for their wisdom, and traveled Midgard in disguise to hear the tales of the living. He also began to gather brave warriors in Valhalla. Those who died heroically in battle were brought by the Valkyries to join Odin's army, one that would fight in Ragnarok. He knew the final war was inevitable, but he would be ready. Odin's one eye became legend. People said he had given it for wisdom, but none knew what he had truly seen. That secret remained Odin's alone, one he would take to the grave. Or rather, into the belly of Fenrir. Yet Odin did not despair. He knew that everything has its purpose, and that rebirth always follows destruction. Though his eye was in the Well of Urd, his vision stretched far into the endless future. In exchange for one eye, he had gained the sight to see everything. The story of Odin's eye asks us, what would you sacrifice? How much would you give up in pursuit of the truth? Sometimes, to gain, we must lose. And only in darkness can we see the light. Though Odin lost one eye, his insight shone brighter than ever before. This is the story of Odin's eye, a tale of sacrifice, wisdom, and fate. And even now, it is whispered on the cold winds of the north, beneath the starlight, reminding us that true wisdom is never easily earned.